Hello everyone, Grimm here. Today we're going to be taking a look at Australium. No, not Australia. I'm talking about Australium from Team Fortress 2. Today we're going to find out what the heaviest Australian weapons are and how much they would cost if they were real. Grab all of your hats and let's get started. So let's start with some background. In TF2 lore, Australian weapons are considered priceless not for just their unique look, but also for the effects and powers they give. How much would they weigh and cost if they existed in real life? Let's find out. First up, let's talk about normal weapon weights in TF2. Take note that most estimates are based on the weapon's real counterparts. Here are a few examples. Scout's scattergun, based off a sawed-off shotgun, weighs around 7 pounds. Soldier's rocket launcher, based off a real RPG, weighs around 18 pounds. And Heavy's minigun, based off a real minigun, is a hefty 50 pounds. Here's a table for all of the estimated weapon weights seen here. Using a quote from the lore seen here, we'll assume, also barring the kangaroos and the nucleus, that it would weigh the same as gold. The easiest weapon to estimate would be the frying pan, due to the whole weapon being converted to Australium instead of a part or two like the other weapons. Before we do any calculations, again remember that all the numbers are estimated since there are no lore accurate numbers to go off of for any of the weapons in TF2. Now, assuming the frying pan is 4 pounds and is made of cast iron like a regular frying pan, first we need to convert it into grams, using the formula here, which is the weight in grams equals the weight in pounds multiplied by 453.592 grams per pound, which is the translation. Then we find the volume of the cast iron used in the pan with the formula volume equals mass over density. Then finally we find the new weight with the formula weight in grams equals the volume by the density. And then we convert back into pounds for consistency by the formula weight in pounds equals the weight in grams multiplied by 1 pound over the translation, 453.592 grams. Following the formula, with the densities of cast iron being approximately 6.8 grams per centimeters cubed, and gold being 19.3 grams per centimeter cubed, the math would follow as the weight in grams being 4 pounds, multiplied by the translation equaling 1814.37 grams. Then getting the volume would be taking that number and putting it over the 6.8 grams per centimeters cubed, which is the density of the cast iron, making it 266.82 centimeters cubed. Getting the new weight, which is the number from before, multiplied by the density of gold, being 5159.63 grams, and then shifting it back to pounds, being taking that number from grams, multiplying it by the translation to bring it back into pounds, making it 11 pounds. Therefore, the Australian pan weighs 7 pounds more than the stock pan. Doing the rest of the weapons, assuming materials and certain amounts of Australium on the weapons, the chart now looks like this. As seen, obviously, the heavy's two primaries weigh the most overall. However, in terms of pure gain of weight from becoming Australium, the frying pan has the most gain at 64%, followed by the Force of Nature, Axe Extinguisher, and the Blitzauger, which all had a 60% increase of weight. Unsurprisingly, the knife had the least amount of gain since it's such a small weapon, and only the blade gets upgraded, which has a minimal impact to the overall weight. In terms of price, not sure how it would stack up to gold due to it being pretty much priceless within the TF2 universe, but due to its enhancing effect, we can assume that Australium is at least 10 times more expensive than gold. That would put a standard 100 gram bar of gold at around $11,000, or for an Australian bar being $110,000. The bar the administrator's ancestor is holding in the photo from the comic, which is most likely a 1 kilogram bar, would be $80,000 of gold or $800,000 of Australian. Before we look at the calculated real-life cost of Australium, we should take a look at the market price of each weapon to buy in game right now. The current price of a single key on marketplace.tf at the moment of recording is $1.79 USD, and with how many keys bots are using to trade the Australian weapons, we get the table looking like this now. Now back to the calculated price of how much Australium would be in each weapon. By calculating the cost using the volume, density, which is the same, and the price per gram of each material, we get the formula The cost of gold or Australium equals the volume multiplied by the density of gold or Australium multiplied by the price per gram. With the average price per gram of gold being $60, Australium would be $600 per gram using the 10 times price bump mentioned earlier. Plugging the volume of Australium used in each weapon into the formula, we get the graph for the cost looking like this now. In terms of which weapons would cost the most, again, to no one's surprise, the Heavy's minigun tops the chart with an overall volume of 2,834.95 centimeters cubed of Australium. Then his Tomislav at 2,267.96 centimeters cubed, bringing the cost to $33 million and $26 million respectively. So there you have it. The Heavy's minigun is unsurprisingly the heaviest and the most expensive Australian weapon, while the frying pan, despite its size, sees the largest percentage increase in weight after being Australiumized. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know in the comments which Australian weapon is your favorite. I've been Grimm, and I'll see you guys in the next one.